hanging out with Ryan Susice, who thinks he's ready to go here. So he is at the Bicknell booth. He, of course, is one of the folks at the Niagara Falls store. So if you go to pick up a chassis or stuff like that, you've probably known Ryan and seen him out there. He also races. He set a career-high win total this year at 7, and also won at more racetracks in one season than he ever had before. I guess we'll start with the racing. You got to be happy, man. Sounds like it was a really, really good year.
Yeah, all things considered, we were strong every time we went on the racetrack. Had a very few mechanical failures or wrecks or anything. So great crew behind me, awesome sponsors, great car owners. It was an awesome season. Glad we could have a good year like that. Definitely get you looking forward to next season. So.
Co-championship at Merrittville, right?
Yep, me and Gary Lindbergh tied. We kind of had a rough last couple weeks of the season. We had, I think, 9 second-place finishes and a couple wins, but right at the end we tailed off. We had a 5th and a 6th the last 2 nights. And that's all it took. Gary climbed back into the points, and we tied. But all in all, for where I've been at Merrittville in the past, I was happy with it. It's the first time we've even been that close to a championship. So Randy Slack owns that car and owns the motor in my Ransford car, so we couldn't do without him and his wife Kathy and Bob and all their support from Transport Sales and Service and Bicknell Racing Products and Niagara Shocks, all the great people that support us.
And of course, Gary, I think, races a little more than you, doesn't he?
In years past, he's raced a bit more. This year, I think we probably had a few more shows than him.
Okay.
The border's been a little tough lately, but it's kind of opening back up. So it's nice. This year, first year we've been able to go back to Merrittville. Last few years, we've been doing a little bit more Southern Tier and Pennsylvania stuff.
Okay.
Just because we couldn't go to Canada. So I actually got kind of hooked up with Patrick Hoops in the number 10 car because of that, because of COVID and everything, and we were able to win a couple races in his car this year, and actually just delivered the car back to him because I think he's going to get possibly back behind the wheel next year a little bit. So.
Oh, okay. No sprint cars this year, though, huh?
Nope, no sprint cars. Planning on being at the Allentown indoor race with the TQ midgets.
Nice.
Actually, the last time I was in this building was racing midgets, so got that car going together good. A good friend of mine owns that, Derek Bowenhagen, so getting the final touches on that. We'll be going January 7th, I think, is our first race for that. So.
Are you doing the whole Lenny Salmon series?
Yeah, this year there's just 2. We'll be in Allentown.
Oh, that's right. There is only 2. That's
Atlantic
right.
City, but I'd love to get a dirt ride because they're running indoors at Trenton this year, but don't exactly know when that is. I don't know if it's a weekend.
Well, that's a pure midget, like we think, not the TQ, right?
It's would be a 600 micro sprint.
Oh, 600 micro. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the dates of that. I think it's around the Florida time, but I'm not sure. So.
Hey, shift with your left hand. That's got to be an interesting kind of ride.
Yeah, the TQs are actually pretty cool. We take all the guts out of the transmission, so you only have second and third.
Oh.
That way, A, you don't miss gears, and B, less rotating weight. So
makes sense. Okay. All right. Which do you enjoy more? Because I talked to a lot of the indoor guys that say everything happens so much faster in those indoor shows.
Those cars are probably one of the most difficult I've ever driven.
Really?
I mean, running wing sprint or non-wing sprint, those midgets, everything just happens like this.
Yes.
There's no room for error. There's really good competition, great drivers, tiny little track, and the cars are so fast. So the indoor racing, it's not, people always say, well, it's not real racing, it's just bumper cars. Well, it's really, really tough. Not only do you have to get in there and drive, but you gotta be smart, you gotta hit your marks, you gotta be fast, and just avoiding a lot of chaos. So it's cool. It's different than what we normally do because normally it's frowned upon to rub and bang, and indoors it's kind of what happens. So
NASCAR, it's every week, so that's a different form of racing.
I always say the asphalt modified guys have a little bit of an advantage because not to say that they're slam and bang, but they definitely race a little bit more with their bumpers. But that's just, I think asphalt to dirt, there's a little different there.
I'm gonna have a little fun with Ryan for a second here. I thought asphalt, saying it that way was a Canadian thing, but is it a Western New York? Because I've also noticed a lot of people from out your way that say asphalt instead of asphalt. They put an extra H in there.
I spent so much time. I spent so much time in Canada.
Oh, you picked it up then?
I'm probably hanging out with all my friends, all my buddies are Canadian guys, my crew. So you can probably just pick up a little bit of their vernacular.
Well, the St. Catherine's accent is a lot different than, say, up in Ontario and Brockville, right? Because they're all about and all that kind of stuff. Where I noticed you just said out and you said it the traditional way. So you're in between right now in your accents, huh?
It's different. Sometimes I'll say it on purpose. Say something just to kind of pick on people.
Okay, all right. So no more asphalt talk. We're going to go now to how things are going. How are things at the Niagara Falls store, and how are things going at the show?
Good. The show this year, it seems like we got some more vendors this year.
Yes.
Obviously, the weather's a little bit iffy with where we're from, out this way, I don't think it's going to be too bad, but the traffic was a little lighter. It's starting to pick up today, but I'm sure tomorrow it'll be pretty packed.
It's not going to hit Niagara Falls, is it? I don't think it's going to go up that high, is it?
Tomorrow it looks like we're not going to get 4 feet or nothing.
Yeah, they already have 42 inches where the Bills play.
Yeah,
so I saw those pictures. Oh my God!
I felt bad leaving, knowing that there was a blizzard coming.
Yeah.
You know, my wife's got to worry about all that, but thankfully we haven't gotten hit with anything
Good.
too bad.
Hopefully you'll be able to get in the driveway okay.
Yep.
When you get home. So what kind of, are you do the same stuff at the Niagara Falls store that if I went all the way up to St. Catharines?
So in Canada we have our factory where they build all the parts, and then we also have our Pizza Automotive, which is where Tyler and Jordan, the two gentlemen I introduced you to earlier,
they're bringing up next year, by the way. They will be on the channel next year.
Basically that's the retail side. That's what we do on the US.
See.
So we're not building anything other than me and Tim, the owner, build shocks at the US store.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, so we do all Integra, Penske's, Bilstein's, Fox, right in house. Fire bottles, we can do those. I'll recertify Hans devices and stuff. So we do a little bit of that stuff. Putting together rear ends and stuff now. We're starting to press tubes in and out. So we're starting to get a little bit more there, but it's just been over 5 years now where pretty much all of us started. When Tim took over, he kind of had a little different approach to, he didn't want to just have it be a retail store. He wanted to be kind of like a one-stop shop where we could get some stuff done. So.
He didn't even want to walk behind. He saw the camera and stopped. Wait, who was that again?
Jordan.
That's Jordan. Yeah, he stopped dead in his tracks. He didn't want to be in the shot. So we'll work on him for next year. Yeah. Jordan, be ready. Start practicing. And
I can speak French too. So.
Oh, you can speak French. Awesome. All right, we'll do it. All I know is how to say is, let me see. Bonjour, je m'appelle Doug Elkins. I'm Doug Elkins. Avec Doug's Dirt Diary, I used to say, parlez-vous anglais? And that's as far as I can go. So how about you? Are you picking up some phrases?
No.
No, okay.
I like to talk to... I'd love to be able to, but I struggle enough with English that we'll stick with that.
I know just enough to introduce myself to the team and say, does anybody speak English? And then usually somebody's, oh yeah, I speak a little English. So everything's good? Life away from this is good?
Yeah.
Glad.
Life and the dog are good, and hopefully not too much snow at home, like I said, but no, everything's going good.
All right.
Getting ready, starting to get the cars prepped for next year, and it'll come quick. You know,
it will.
This show here, Thanksgiving next week, we leave for PRI for a week, and a couple weeks off, and then it's indoor racing. So
yeah, next thing you know, we'll be back at the car show here and getting ready for a new season and going, oh my goodness, I'm behind. You'll be thrashing the night before. Somebody will be at every track this year. So get it done nice and early. Make sure to say hi to the folks at Bicknell. Nice to see you. I haven't talked to you in person in a while, Ryan. So glad to see you're doing well.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Doug.
Like, subscribe, hit the PayPal if you can. You have a nice day, okay, man?
Thank you.